Welcome back sa ating channel. Naging mainit nga na usapin sa mundo ng social media matapos nga ang ginawa ni Kuting ng Norte ng mga kababalaghan sa Davao at tila nagkaroon ng martial law ay talagang ikinanta na rin ni General Marbel itong si Kuting ng Norte na ito na siya mismo ang nasa likod at mastermind. Ito nga ang talagang nakakagimbal na isiniwalat ni General Marbel sa loob mismo ng Senado. Kaya naman hindi talaga makakawala itong si Kuting ng Norte na ito dahil hanggang ngayon ay hinahanting na rin siya dahil karma is real matapos nga ang ginawa kay Vice President Sara Duterte na mga kabalbalan at kalokohan. Ngayon nga ay talagang bumabalik sa kanya ang karma dahil hindi naman talaga makatarungan ang ginawa nila sa loob mismo ng Davao na talagang pwenesto ang mga men in uniform na hindi pa nila inaamin kung sino ang kanilang mastermind, kung sino ang nag-utos sa kanila. Ngunit talagang hindi nga pinalagpas ito ng mga mabubuting mambabatas at talagang patuloy ang imbestigasyon at natukoy ito si General Marbel at talagang inilaglag si Kuting ng Norte, Lisa Tanas at Tambaluslos. Ngayon nga ay magkakaalaman na kung sino nga ba sa kanila ang nagsasabi ng katotohanan, kung sino nga ba talaga ang sinungaling dahil nasa Senado na ang kaso at hinihiring na kung sino nga ba talaga ang tunay na maparusahan. Banat ng maraming netizen, ikulong ang dapat ikulong at parusahan ang dapat parusahan. Panoorin nga natin ang buong video. At kung bago ka pa lamang sa aking channel, huwag kalimutan i-click ang subscribe button at notification bell para lagi kang updated sa ating mga bagong video. At para sa sulit viewers natin dyan, maraming salamat sa walang sawang pagsuporta.
April 3 in the central headquarters in Samal, and April 4 in Prayer Mountain and the Glory Mountain, and April 10 in the central headquarters in Prayer Mountain, the Glory Mountain, and May 3 in Prayer Mountain and Glory Mountain, and we have always entertained and let them in peacefully. We didn't have any resistance, but kami magre-resist. Yun nga lang ang tanong dito sa committee hearing na ito, sa pagdidinig. Tinatanong natin yung excessive ba yung June 10. Kasi, ang pinuntahan naman nila, religious compounds, hindi naman lair ng mga kriminal. At ang sino hinahanap nila, para lang din sa lahat, sino bang tinutugis? It was in the guise of issuing a warrant of arrest to our beloved pastor, which we have known at naging buhay na namin for almost 40 years. Kaya yun ang masakit. Kasi alam namin yung katotohanan. Tapos, first of all, we know what the truth is. He is innocent. And Pastor Kibuloy has millions of followers, not only here in the Philippines, but the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, which is a homegrown ministry from Davao City, has reached not only the Philippines, but the whole world. And what is painful with that, is it because he was just like falsely accused yet? Is it because he is also the spiritual advisor and the friend of so many, especially the former president, Rodrigo Roa Duterte? PACQ or Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy is not yet convicted in any court here in the Philippines. Allegations yung lahat. And he has always said it. He is not evading the law. Palagi niyang sinasabi yan. He's not escaping from the law. He was just asking the preservation of his life. Haharapin niya ang alleged na mga accusation sa kanya na human trafficking, rape, at ano pa man na lahat na inaakusan ninyo, which is alam namin na hindi totoo, pero sige na lang. Pero haharapin ni Pastor yan, basta nasa tamang korte at guaranteed siya na safe ang buhay niya. Hindi siya nag-i-evade ng law, ulitin ko lang po. He's not evading the law because he has always taught us to abide by the law. And so, kailangan lang niya ng self-preservation, kailangan niya i-save yung buhay niya. Huwag lang makialam ang Amerika. Kasi, yung information nga nakakarating sa amin, hindi sila mag-extradition, but extraordinary rendition. Sinabi niya ni Pastor, huwag lang makialam ang Amerika. I-secure nyo lang yung seguridad ni Pastor. Haharapin niya lahat ng accusations niya sa korte. So, ganito ang nangyari. Ilang beses sila nagbigay ng warrant of arrest para sa inosenteng tao at hindi pa convicted. Hindi siya fugitive kasi hindi siya nag-escape sa law. Sorry. Huwag yung tatawagang fugitive yung hindi nag-escape sa law. At pastor siya. Pastor namin siya. Buong buhay namin binigay na namin kay pastor kasi alam namin yung sinusunod namin. And that June 10, I was there. We were there. And never have we felt so brutalized and terrorized on that day. Hindi kami sanay. Kasi we have lived peacefully. Lahat ng turo ni Pastor, pagmamahal, pagsusunod sa batas. Tapos, to our horror, we were about to pray. I was looking at my watch, it's 3:50. The silence of that morning was broken by the siren because that is our only way to inform everyone that we were already under attack. You say we are armed and dangerous. You have your body cams with you. The camera will not lie. The CCTV will not lie. We were there because we were about to pray for our devotional dawning prayer. And that is when, all of a sudden, I just heard all the female workers running around. We have to protect our compound. We have to protect our property. It is our home. That is our inheritance given to us by the Almighty Father. And we worked on that by the blood, sweat, and tears of all the kingdom citizens. Yun lang ang pamamahay namin. Yun lang ang lugar namin. Kaya pinoproteksyonan, binigay yun sa amin ng ating Panginoon Diyos. Pinangunahan ng aming mahal na pastor. Why we are protecting that? Because it was, yun ang iniwan ni Pastor sa amin. And we vowed to protect it no matter what. So yun yung nangyari. So tanong natin, excessive ba yung lulusob ka sa banal na dako na kung walang ginagawa kundi manalangin, magpuri sa Ama, magsisimba, at wala ibang tinuturo kundi pagmamahal sa kapwa, pagsusunod sa batas, at pagmamahal sa Diyos. Excessive ba yung for the first time in my life, I saw all those PNP personnel who were already geared for war with all their ammunitions, yung mga baril nila napakalaki. I did not know what to do, but the children, the women, the mga workers kasama namin sa gate. Later on, Carlo will also relate what happened that day. It only not resulted in a pain so deep that even until now, the pain is there. Hindi man namin sadyain. Alam ko trauma is matagal mag-heal. It's not only pain, trauma, but it also resulted and caused the death of 2 of our members from the Belaan tribes in Kitbog. You also
May namatay?
Opo, sa Lawa.
Bakit? Ano nangyari?
Because of the trade, na trauma sila, sir, kasi mga Belaan, for the longest time, napaka-peaceful na po nung sa Sarangani province. E nung madaling araw, sinugod yung bahay nila, mga bahay nila, at pinilit silang palabasin. Yung una, pinagsisipa yung mga door. Madaling araw, sir, halos mga pawid lang yung bahay nila. Tapos, yung unang, yung matanda, may sakit na siya. Kaya medyo nasa labas na lang siya ng bahay. Pinilit talaga siyang palabasin. Labas kayo. Matanda na, sir, kasi may sakit nga. Pinalabas. Bedridden siya. Pinalabas talaga. Pinilit nila lahat, pati yung matatanda. Pinilit nilang palabasin sa bahay. Sir, hindi po yun sa compound. Nasa community po yun. Mga Bilaan yun. Ancestral domain yon, malapit yung tinutulungan ni Pastor
So,
yon.
right there and then during that activity, the next day.
Ipalabas kasi siya ng madaling araw.
Yung dalawa.
Isa muna, ganito sir, yung tatay ng bedridden na may sakit, pinilit palabasin, nagpamakaawa, ginising nila ng mga baril na lalaki talaga ng mga arms nila. Pinilit nila lumabas, yung iba sabi nila, ang ginaw, madaling araw na sa bundok. Pinilit nila. Yung the day after that, hindi na siya kumain. Ayaw na niya. Tapos palagi niya, ang iniisip niya, baka kunin nila si Pastor kasi member na po sila, naunawaan po nila yung mensahe ni Pastor. Yun yung takla, baka makuha nila si Pastor. Walang warrant of arrest, picture lang ang pinakita. 8 picture, kilala nyo ba to? Ganun po nangyari doon sa Kitbog. Tapos, yung asawa niya, the following din, matay yung father. That day din, yung asawa ni William, tinitimpla pa niya ng kape yung mga sundalo. Nanginginig na siya. After a few days, na-stroke. Hindi na si Brother William nakapaglibing sa father niya kasi na-stroke yung asawa niya. Tinulungan namin din nila sa hospital. Dilhin naglaon, sir, namatay din. So, 2 yung namatay doon sa pamilya na yun. Tinulungan namin hanggang ngayon. Tapos yung may bata doon, kasi naano siya, siguro hindi lang talaga kaya i-process ng utak niya. Parang natuliro. Naloko pag may makikita siyang drone, binabato niya. Pag may makikita silang naka-uniform, natatakot sila. Kahit even, wala, sir, nasira yung bait. Hindi talaga, hanggang ngayon pinapagamot namin. Hanggang ngayon, namin. Tapos yung sa Glory Mountain naman, may mga footages naman, sir. Yung sinabi nila na nakipaglaban dahil may bolos, natural kasi bundok yun. Glory Mountain yun. After ng prayer, nagpa-farm sila, nag-garden sila. So dala-dala nila yung ang farm. Bigla ang sinabi nila, ibababa kasi papamedico legal yung 6 with minors pa. Pero pagdating doon sa Kalinan Police Station, nagtaka na lang yung guardian, pinasuot na sila ng orange. Ginunan sila ng mugshot. Sir, mga innocent yun kasi mga ano din yun, nasa tribo din yun. Tinutulungan lang ni Pastor dun sa bundok. Ganun po. Hindi man lang binasahan ng Miranda rights or what. Ganun lang.
Ilan yun? Ilan?
6 po.
6?
Opo. Marami pa, 6 lang lahat.
Kinasuhan?
Opo. Pinasuot ng orange.
Nasaan sila ngayon?
Nandun pa rin po sa Glory Mountain, pero nandito po yung witness. Kasama po namin.
Nakapag nag-post sila ng bail? Paano sila ni-release?
Ordinary filing lang po yun. Tapos nirelease din lang po sila, sir, nung hapon.
Okay. Anong kaso nila, attorney? Anong kinaso?
Obstruction of justice daw.
Obstruction of justice ang final nila. Ng
Kasi?
PNP. Kasi
Talaga nag-obstruct sila na hindi makapasok ang pulis? Ganun ginawa nila?
allegedly po, yun ang allegation ng Philippine National Police. Actually, 8 po yung dinala. And then, nung na-realize nila na minors pala yung 2, pinakawalan. And then later, pagdating dun sa police station, pinaila na sila ng kaso po. Sila pala lahat, yung 8 pinaila ng kaso ultimately. So,
At least regular filing, hindi in-inquest.
in fairness, regular file.
Regular filing. Thank you. Please continue, ma'am.
Okay, so more or less that's what happened last June 10. And hindi lang kasi kung excessive yung pinag-uusapan, hindi lang naman kasi galing sa Region 10 yung lumusob. 10, 11, 12, 13. So, I think yun nga, sinabi na pinagplanuhan, pinag-isipan. Yung nangyari doon ng June 10. Kaya, hinihiling lang po namin sa mga honorable natin na mga malaki po yung respeto namin sa mga police. In men in uniform. Pastor has so much high regard for the men in uniform. And we have supported the military and the police ever since. Hinihiling lang namin ang patas na pagdinig at ang maliwanag na yun lang katotohanan at katuwiran po ang mananaig. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Attorney Torion, you have the floor.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen of this August Committee, to the Honorable Chair, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, Senator Christopher Bongo, mayong buntag kanatong tanan. Peace and blessings to all of us. This is a critical Senate investigation, knowing that June 10, 2024 is considered as a day of infamy not only for the church members of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, but for many innocent civilians who were brutalized, traumatized, and lost their loved ones to the callous personnel of PNP, SAF, CIDG, coming from 4 different regional operational groups, who without proper justification, legal basis, nor adherence to due process, forcibly broke into their sacred places and homes, purportedly to serve warrants of arrest to Pastor ACQ Apollo C. Kibuloy and his co-accused. We are talking about innocent civilian men, women, and children who suffered excessive force and brutality in the hands of the police. That day will forever be etched in the members of the KOJC's memories as a harrowing tragedy demonstrating a grave misuse and abuse of power perpetrated by the very ones who ought to protect us, the ones who swore to serve and protect. This is a crucial Senate investigation, and so we thank you, Honorable Committee Chairman and members, for giving us this precious time. What happened on June 10 of 2024 was that PNP SAF CIDG launched Oplan Parokya, in which they simultaneously raided 4 properties in 4 different locations of the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, purportedly to serve warrants of arrest against Pastor ACQ Apollo C. Kibuloy and others issued by the Regional Trial Court of Pasig City. That day, we saw battalions of fully equipped and fully armed PNP SAF CIDG personnel coming from 4 different regions, clad in full battle suit, fully equipped with heavy-duty tactical gear and weaponry, their faces obscured by full masks and ballistic helmets, yet surprisingly without any nameplates or name tags on such uniforms, complete with helicopter cover and snipers strategically placed on different locations as if they were hunting notorious terrorists. These PNP personnel proceeded right away at 3:55 a.m. to breach walls by the use of ladders insofar as the operation in COAJC Central was conducted, literally and forcibly broke walls at 4:49 a.m. insofar as Glory Mountain operation was concerned, and or forcibly opened gates at 5:02 a.m. insofar as the Prayer Mountain operation was concerned, and or forcibly kicked and or destroyed doors of houses at around 4 a.m. insofar as the Kitbug Municipality of Malungon Sarangani operation was conducted without prior attempt to secure the consent of the administrator of KOJC properties in the person of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, or from the owners of the individual houses in Kitbug Municipality of Malungon, Sarangani Province. In Kitbug especially, since this was not so fully shown on TV, fully masked and fully armed police officers with no nameplates just straight away kicked open the doors of the houses of the Bilaans in the area and then ordered them to go out of their houses so the police can conduct unbridled searches inside. As a consequence, many Bilaans were traumatized. 2 died, the proximate cause or immediate cause being the illegal raid conducted on June 10 of 2024. What is our position? The position of KOJC unequivocally condemns the use of excessive force by the PNP during the said operation. The actions taken by the police on that day were disproportionate and unwarranted, resulting in undue harm and distress to KOJC community as a whole and to each of KOJC members, most especially to those who died, injured, illegally detained, and harassed on that fateful day. Such conduct undermines public trust in law enforcement and violates the fundamental principles of human rights. Violations of Sections 2, Rule 113, as well as Sections 11 of Rule 113 and other provisions of the revised Penal Code were clearly committed. The fact that the PNP SAF CIDG raided 4 different locations at almost the same time simply proves that the PNP, SAF, CIDG do not really know the location of the person or persons they intended to arrest. Hence, the illegality of breaking into the KOJC locations. They did not know that the persons that they would arrest was present in those locations or is reasonably believed to be there in violation of Rule 113, Section 11. This showed that the police officers were on a fishing expedition without justification under the rules of court or the 1987 Constitution. Moreover, the raid along with the attack was an overkill owing to the sheer number of police officers who were utilized in the alleged implementation of the warrants of arrest. As a matter of fact, the warrants of arrest brought by the police officers last June 10, 2024 were actually previously returned already to the RTC Pasig City as evidenced by the court order dated June 7 of 2024 recognizing the return of the said warrant of arrest. Per Administrative Circular 7-92 of the Supreme Court, the police should have secured an alias warrant of arrest, but this was not done. What is our hope to be achieved in this Senate investigation? We hope and pray that there shall be adoption of strict measures concerning the enforcement of warrants of arrest. We advocate for the mandatory use of nameplates by law enforcement officers, the disclosure of their identities, and the strict enforcement of body-worn cameras during operations. Furthermore, we urge, sirs, for the criminalization of violations of these rules to ensure accountability. We likewise urge the passage of laws on the proper usage of drones. Every night, almost, we see drones being flown over the properties hovering above KOJC properties. Given the increasing deployment of drones in law enforcement, it is imperative to establish clear regulations governing their use to protect the privacy and safety of our citizens. There are so-called no-fly zones which must be observed and implemented in our jurisdiction by reasons of security, safety, privacy, or regulatory reasons. A no-fly zone is a designated area where the operation of unmanned aerial vehicles or drones is prohibited, such as airports and large public gatherings. I am the Dean of JMC Law School. Sometimes we are bothered by these drones during nighttime when we conduct our classes. The KOJC Central Compound is beside the Davao City International Airport, a single fact which makes it supposedly a prohibited area for drones, but this is not done by the PNP in our area. We likewise pray, Your Honors, that there must be court orders for the installation of listening devices. We have reasons to believe that even our I love yous to our wives and our secret conversations in our phones are being listened to. So we advocate for strengthening Republic Act 4200 or the Anti-Wiretapping Act by requiring court orders for the installation of listening devices similar to the Anti-Terrorism Act, so that such will safeguard civil liberties which we so cherish, Your Honors. We likewise pray that a domestic law shall be passed recognizing schools and churches as no-force zones. There is already sufficient basis within the international legal framework as well as our own local legal framework which recognizes schools and churches as no-force zones, but we believe that there is yet no domestic law which clearly define such and providing for penalties if the same is violated. What is needed now, therefore, Your Honors, is for the Senate to bolster these policies and principles through proper legislation which explicitly prohibits to the greatest extent practicable the conduct of police operations such as service of warrants and those that require the use of force within or around schools, churches, and like institutions, thereby protecting these sensitive locations from hostilities and upholding their sanctity and respect to the rights and dignity of every person. Establishing no-for zones around schools and churches will protect these sacred and educational spaces from the violence and trauma associated with law enforcement operations. We pray that these be acted, Your Honors. Thank you for the opportunity that you have given us this morning.
Attorney
Thank you,
Torion.
Attorney Israelito Torion.
Galing talaga ni Torion,
Can
mga
you
kaibigan.
give us a copy of your opening statement? So that,
We already,
Meron na?
yes, Your Honor.
Kumsek, we have already a copy of that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, including copies of all affidavits, Your Honor. And we are ready with a video to be played so that the people will really know the extent of the violations committed by the PNP in this case, Your Honor.
Yeah, but before you play that, I just would like to short reaction lang sa sinabi mo. If you are worried that your phone is being tapped or monitored, I am also worried with my cell phone. I know. I've been a police officer and I know that my phone is being tapped right now. I am very sure of that. But as to who are these people doing it, I cannot definitely say. And as to the technology that they are using, I cannot definitely say kung ano yung ginagamit nila. But I know, feel ko na tinatap yung cellphone ko for a couple of months na. Kung sino may capability niyan, I just don't know kung sino. But I am sure, I'm pretty sure. Okay, pakibigay yung kuan mo at saka yung i-play na natin itong video mo before alis si Chief Indy.
It is ready, Your Honor.
Please go ahead.